Did you know that deep inside your brain, there's this tiny little part called your pineal gland, and it's being attacked? It's called the pineal gland because it looks like a little pine cone. Other people call it your third eye because they believe that it can help us see things that aren't visible in the real world. And I'm going to tell you a crazy story about that in a minute and how you can do it. But living in today's world isn't doing your pineal gland any favors because we have constant exposure to electromagnetic fields, deadly chemicals, stress, and it all helps speed up the calcification of your pineal gland and block your third eye. And there's 3 things that you need to know to save yourself from the dangers that our everyday world is presenting. Number 1 is what the pineal gland does and why it gets blocked and calcified in the first place. Number 2, how to protect your energy field and shield your third eye from these modern day threats that you're experiencing every day. And then number 3 is exactly how to unlock it and what happens after you do. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do all that without spoiling too much of it. Let me just tell you that when I was able to unlock this, it was about 10 years ago, and I saw my entire future happen in my mind 10 years before it happened with precise accuracy. This will change your life because it gives you all the answers that you need once you understand how to unlock your third eye. Now, before we dive into that, if you're new here, thanks for being here. If you're a returner, thanks for coming back. This is Jake with jakeducey.com. If you haven't yet, I just want to say thanks and give you my free success hypnosis MP3. I have a free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind. Because we all know our biggest obstacle, like the reason that you're not getting what you want, isn't because of the world. It's because we have all these old limiting beliefs that we've inherited, all these subconscious bad habits, or these negative thought patterns, or a deficiency in our self-image and our confidence. It's all subconscious. But you can change it. Stanford University did a study and they found that we have 65,000 thoughts a day. 95% of them are subconscious, which is like crazy in and of itself, because 70 to 80% of those are negative and redundant. So like all day long, there's this negative friend in our head, basically. It's really not our friend. We think it's our friend. And it's destroying us. And you can actually, in just a couple minutes a day, reprogram your subconscious mind just through repetition, constant spaced repetition. It's free, my free success hypnosis. About 1 million people from all over the world have used it every day. I get these awesome stories, people that like, oh my gosh, my house was on the market for 9 months and I sold it within a week of using it. And I just got a new job and I attracted an awesome new romantic relationship. All these cool things happen. It's free to use. All I ask is you just come back and share your success story and some cool things that happen from using it. You only got to listen for like 2-3 minutes a day. So check it out for free, jakeshypnosis.com. Now, let's start off with number 1. It's like, what is the pineal gland? And you've probably heard of it before, but it is that little pine cone shaped gland. It's in the middle of your brain. It's a real location. People are like, oh, third eye, BS. The pineal gland is a real location. And it's responsible for a lot of things. Melatonin being released in your body to regulate your natural sleep cycles is one of them. And it's turning off the melatonin to wake us back up. And the pineal gland can actually do a lot more than just do some hormonal stuff. It helps us connect to our inner thoughts, to our dreams, to spiritual realms, to our intuition. It helps us see beyond this veil of illusion that is our reality. It is the third eye. Then that brings us to number 2, which is calcification. Calcification actually happens in your pineal gland. Here's a photo of it right here. You can see it's real. You can see it on x-rays. Kind of like the same idea as plaque that builds up in your teeth, but your pineal gland gets a buildup of calcification, which limits its electrical function. It makes it harder for people to produce melatonin. It makes it harder for people to sleep. It might actually block you from your intuition and deeper spiritual parts of yourself. And then that brings us to what causes this calcification. And there's a few things that actually create it. Number one is fluoride. This is a mineral that's often added to tap water and toothpaste. It's a neurotoxin. There's tons of published medical studies on how fluoride concentrates in the pineal gland, because the pineal gland doesn't have the same type of blood-brain barrier as the rest of the body. So toxins naturally accumulate in your pineal gland. I'm not going to go all into that right now because the rest of what I'm going to say is just as or more important. And more importantly, I'll show you how to decalcify and unlock your pineal gland. But I have another video where I break down all fluoride and all the other chemicals in your water and how that is affecting your pineal gland. I've got like all these major government studies and all stuff like that. So I'll link that at the end of the video, or you can click right here and watch that. Now, number two is unhealthy foods. So eating lots of processed, unnatural junk food, like processed sugar snacks and fast food, right? It can make our body more acidic. And that helps calcium build up in the pineal gland. Number three is too much screen time. Spending too much time on our phones, our computers, our tablets, something I'm guilty of, we're all guilty of. But what this does is we're exposing our brain to a bunch more EMFs. And the blue light in our phones and in computer screens, it messes with your pineal gland. And it actually affects the production of melatonin. And that's why it's like one of the first things people say, like if you're having trouble sleeping, is no screens 1 hour before you go to bed, because the blue light is messing up your pineal gland, your natural circadian rhythms, and it's inhibiting the melatonin from being produced. Number four is not enough sunlight. So the pineal gland needs sunlight to work properly. All the cells in our body do. And when we stay indoors all the time and we don't get outside, you're not recharging your brain's batteries. And the crazy thing about your entire body is it's just energy, and your pineal gland is a conduit of electrical energy. Well, the ultimate source of electrical energy is the sun. And so when you get out in the sun for just a few minutes a day, you don't need to do anything crazy, but you're actually going to help to reactivate those cells in your pineal gland that have slowly started to get calcified. Number five is pollution. Breathing in chemicals from polluted air, drinking tap water or low quality purified municipal water, city water, eating foods with pesticides. It causes not only a lot of problems to our pineal gland, but the rest of our body as well. Like I said, specifically on the water front, I have another video where I break that entire thing down. So I'll link that at the end so you can watch that one next. So now let's go into how does calcification affect you in your pineal gland. So when the pineal gland gets calcified, there's a few primary problems, right? Like one of the signs is you might have trouble sleeping. So if your third eye is essentially totally blocked from environmental toxins, calcification, you can pretty much assume that there's a high correlation between your inability to sleep and that, because when that's occurring, it's messing up your melatonin as well. You're also going to be less creative. You're going to be less intuitive, because your third eye is your spiritual eye. It's really your eye that sees what is beyond the physical realm. So it is synonymous with creativity. And so when it is blocked, you aren't going to have the same intuitive capabilities. You aren't going to have the same creativity. You aren't going to have the same type of spiritual intuition. And that's really why it's so important, ultimately, in my opinion, to understand everything that we're going to talk about and break down in this video. So if you're with me so far and you're enjoying it and you find it useful, make sure you hit the like button on this video. Give me a comment down below that says, I'm with you, Jake. I'm with you, Jake. And make sure you get my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's my free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind and reprogram it. Now, what I was saying is the reason that, in my opinion, it's so important to follow all this is because of the incredible intuitive abilities that you access that you didn't know you have. The creativity, the new ideas, the guidance to do X, Y, and Z that comes to you once you start to follow what we're talking about here. So can you fix a calcified pineal gland? And there's a lot of good news with regards to that actually being healthy and taking care of ourselves can actually do the trick. Oh, first things first, in my experience, one of the most important things is to drink clean water, to not just drink filtered water, because filtered water doesn't mean anything. Like I said, you can Google your city's water that you think is filtered, maybe even have a water filter and stuff like that. But there's so many contaminants in city water. It's actually crazy. I mean, it's crazy that the people that are running city water aren't in jail, like arsenic. There's all types of crazy stuff. And people don't really realize what they're putting into their body. All of these toxins, due to the fact that the pineal gland doesn't have the same type of blood-brain barrier as the rest of organs in your body, it goes right into it. It actually pools. Toxins pool in your pineal gland. And this kind of opens up the door to the second part of it, is watching what you're putting in your body. Using natural products, right? Like when I had long hair for many years, and a lot of people comment all the time, they're like, I miss your long hair. I'm like, okay, dude, I see the comment. My hair's not long anymore, okay? But when I had long hair, it was always weird to me because I'd always have women come up to me and ask me why my hair looked so good. And I always thought it was weird. And that was when I realized people have no idea what they're even putting. They don't know what water they're drinking, but they don't even know what they're putting on their bodies or on their hair. And I just used healthy stuff. And if you go look at even at Whole Foods or your health food store, most of the shampoos and conditioners have so much crap in it. It's really just a bunch of highly toxic stuff that is mixed with perfume. And so it smells good, so you think it's good, but it's not actually good. So it's very important, from the lotions that you're putting on your body, to the face cream that you're putting on your body, to the sunscreen that you're wearing, to see what other types of emulsifiers or other chemical additives that might be in it that may not be good, or the shampoo and conditioner that you're putting on. All of this stuff is toxic, can be toxic. It is not toxic. It can be toxic. So it's very important to know what's going into your body. Next is to get plenty of sunlight. Even if it's not direct sunlight the whole time, try to at least get 15 or 20 minutes of sun exposure every day. By that I mean, it doesn't need to be directly in the sun if you have some type of sun sensitivities, but just being outside, even if you're in a shaded area, the natural light of that, in the same way that a sponge absorbs water, the cells of your body are absorbing all that natural light, and it's super important. Next is try to avoid your screen on your phone at least 15 minutes before bed. I normally do about 20 to 30 minutes, but this week I actually started a new one where I do an hour. And so what I'm trying to do is then I turn it off, then I go for a walk, then I go to bed. So I'm not getting any of that influence on my pineal gland, especially before bed. And it's not just for the sake of opening my third eye. You're going to sleep better as well. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to link right here to the full water video. I think it's probably one of the most important videos that I did. It didn't get as much love as a normal video, maybe because it's not as sexy or cool of an idea. But I think it's the most important video I ever done because it's something that's going to your body every single day. So you can click right here to watch that, breaking down all of the stuff in water, including fluoride.